You might as well just turn this podcast off right now because we didn't have any technical difficulties during this entire show. So that might seem strange, and we should have just hung up the podcasting phone because this will never happen again. But if you want to learn about things like electric diagnostics on a dirt bike, total bike rebuild myths explained, what all-wheel drive really is, and a 3 million view video that we have. Rooster Endo, your favorite episode of Rooster Endo. Coasting downhill, is it good or bad? And hard to find exotic bike parts, what to do about this, which I don't think we really gave a very good answer. So if any of that stuff interests you, you're going to have to listen to the show and enjoy our new sponsor, Taco Mike from Taco Moto Co. So here we go.
What's up, Moto Buddies? Mike here from Taco Moto Co. What is the Taco Touch? It's the best service in the industry. Virtually 24/7 tech support via email or text. And it's like having a dirt bike doctor on call every day of the year, helping you fix your bike or recommend parts or setups for you. If you've ever received an order from us, you know that the Taco Touch extends to our fulfillment, and our orders come with the coolest stickers that you've ever had, buying parts from anybody before, and a handful of root beer barrel candies. All of our Taco Moto Co. branded components come with a no questions asked lifetime warranty, and we'll even extend out the warranty of other manufacturers, OEM, and aftermarket parts where we can, sometimes for life. We test and tune endlessly and exhaustively and obsessively. We're trying to destroy everything that we can before you get your hands on it to look for weaknesses and to improve it or to make recommendations to the manufacturer. And if it's something that doesn't meet grade, then we don't offer it on the store. Everything that we carry is something that we have personally used, tested, and ridden and raced and knows meets the high Taco Touch demanding standard. Go out and get some adventure.
Live from Pahrump, it's Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. Logan, this is the show where we talk about what?
Dirt bikes and dirt bike related products. Okay,
good. You're getting better at this. I can tell that the first day of school is already helping. You seem a little sharper today, a little more willing to communicate. This is good because we are going to answer your questions, try to help you out with your motorcycle needs, curiosities, things like that. This show is brought to you by, who's it brought to you by?
Recluse,
sometimes, yeah. Sometimes.
Climb,
exactly. And Climb makes really good vented gear, especially for an off-road rider. I mean, in fact, I was wishing I was wearing it on the motocross tracks when I was riding because the stuff is so vented. Their XC Light gear is amazing, super lightweight, which is why it's called light, but it also feels like you're not wearing much in the way of gear. It's almost like riding naked, which I don't like to do that much. And it's protective because I've actually been riding in the trees, and the stuff that usually punji sticks you and scratches you and stuff like that, I don't have that problem. So Climb makes very good gear, all different kinds of gear, and I just saw they had a little post about beanies. So them being very snow focused, they're getting ready for the winter already, and I can't even feel that because it is how hot out here, Logan?
It is
you could just
102.
It's just hot. It's stinking hot. So too hot to really ride dirt bikes, but I think I'm going to get up tomorrow morning and go riding. I think I'm going out riding tomorrow. I might ride out to where they're doing the Vegas to Reno qualifiers and just go riding in that general direction, sit on a hill or something like that. So with that, we're going to go right into the questions like we promised our Facebook viewers. And so if you're wondering if you're picking this up someplace, a recorded version of this live show, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitch, we're on Facebook. Where else are we on? Is that it?
YouTube, Facebook, Twitch.
Does your microphone have any volume to it yet?
My microphone is not on right now.
Which one is it?
5 and 6.
5 and 6.
Yeah.
How's that? Can you hear Matt now?
Can you hear me right now?
Yeah, we can hear
The
you.
audio's picking me up. Yeah.
There we go.
So let me see. So we are on Facebook, both Dirtbike Test and Jimmy Lewis's page. We're on YouTube, and we're also on Twitch now. We have one viewer on Twitch.
Is it you?
It's not me. No.
Find
actually.
out who that viewer is, and I would like to send him a Dirtbike Test T-shirt.
All right. Yeah. So
If
you
we can,
put in the chat who you are.
Twitch person is figured out, and I was actually thinking I was going to run a contest. Actually, I said I wasn't going to run any contest, but this isn't a contest. It's a reward for extra effort. We have left because Twitch people are probably like small kids like Logan, so they'll fit in the smalls and mediums, I'm guessing. Mm-hmm. So hopefully, we have a shirt for them. Damn, I went into the contest zone. How bad was that? It wasn't even a contest if you don't even know what you're competing for. But our first Twitch viewer, that's awesome. Why would we be there? I don't know. I just decided to do it because it was stupid. Just like most of the stuff I've done in my entire life. Yeah, so straight to the questions. I was going to explain, so we generally field questions from the YouTube videos from the week before. So if you have questions during this show that don't seem to really get answered, a lot of them, they'll come up in the chat. We'll see them. We'll answer them live. But if you put a question in the comments down below when it actually goes up as a video, we farm through those and pull out the ones that are relevant and good, and we'll answer them for you the next week because sometimes you just want an honest answer by somebody who doesn't give a crap, right?
Yeah.
Not trying to sell you something, not trying to make you a contest. So we're going to start out with Mike Warren's question. And I know, Matt, there was two more that popped up right before we went live, and I'd like you to
I'll work on pulling them up.
Read those off. So, Logan, this is one of your jobs because I get thirsty.
Mike Warren. 2018 YZ 250FX. Battery not charging and replaced the voltage regulator and stator tests. Good, according to the book. With a good battery, should I replace the stator? Also, the Recluse, which I bought after listening to the show, in gear just wants to engage at idle. Should I replace fibers? I adjusted it a couple times.
Okay, so two questions there. One is about the battery not charging and you're replacing the voltage regulator. So if you tested the stator, it sounds like he kind of has a pretty good comprehension of what's going on. If you tested the stator and it was good and you replaced the voltage regulator, that's the majority of the stuff in the system other than having some wiring issues. But it's real easy. If you take your voltage meter and check and make sure that the battery is getting a charge, at different RPMs, and make sure that it's not overcharging, not going up too high into the 14s, and make sure it's not dwindling down too low, down below somewhere 12, a little bit lower. If it's running and it's only showing 11, then there is something wrong in there. Stators typically fail because of heat, or the windings get loose and they vibrate. So check the bike hot and cold. Make sure you're getting the same readings when the bike's warm and cold, and that will let you know whether or not you are on your way to, hopefully no electrical problems. Those are the hardest things to diagnose. And then he was asking about, so I wouldn't replace the stator until it told me that it was bad. Something said this was bad. And I was kind of curious why you went straight to the voltage regulator. Was there a problem? Did you notice like a spike in voltage or something like that? Because a lot of times batteries just go bad. They have a shelf life. And I get anywhere from 2 to 7 years on a battery. And I can't tell you why or how, or it seems like, that you get some that are really good and some that aren't very good. And if it's under 2 years, then I kind of suspect that there's a problem. And if I have, and I've had failures on all different brands in under 2 years, and I've had all different brands last for way too long. And so I don't have a go-to, like say I can't tell you this is the best battery, because I've had every single brand you've probably heard of either exceed expectations or fail miserably. And I just think it's one of those things where it's just a little bit of quality control over time. So onto the Recluse. And so he bought it, and man, if you didn't put some stupid setting like I recommend in, and it's engaging at idle, something isn't right, because they tend to engage quite a bit higher than idle. If you monkeyed with the setting, softer springs, heavier wedges, and it was engaging at idle, I would totally understand it. So I would go through there, make sure that you went through, because that's a cable-activated clutch, and those are a little bit different than the hydraulic clutches in the way that you set it. And sometimes if your cable isn't set properly, the tension on your cable is not set properly, which has a lot to do with the free play gain, it can essentially, it can engage too early and do all kinds of stuff. So make sure that setting is right. And if it hasn't been right and you've been riding it, it can generate a little bit extra heat. It can make some problems. So hopefully you can fix that. What am I doing, Logan?
Oh,
did you fart and you wanted to see if it went into the sound?
Oh no, I was hearing a ringing, but I think it's just in my ear.
I watched this movie called Idiocracy. You seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to do a review on that, and so because I'll get into it later. So okay.
Is this the thing we were talking about earlier?
Next questions. Do we talk, Matt? We don't talk.
We didn't really talk that much today. No,
yeah.
I haven't been in a talking mood.
Yeah. So okay, that's the answer.
Matt Mattoon.
Speaking of not talking, my producer emails me or posts on Facebook the question he wants to ask about his bike. This is the communication level we have around here.
Well, I want to create content for the show.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have it.
If I was to go with rebuilding my Husaberg, not a 570, would you recommend going OEM or aftermarket? For most of my engine components, I've gone aftermarket before, but at a shop I've worked at, they always swore by OEM parts.
So, by the way, tonight's show also brought to you by Milagro. I don't know why.
It's not
just
bad.
No. Did you have some?
No, I've had that.
I've had it before.
I've had that before.
It's kind of just the middle of the road, not too bad. Little sharp on the first initial bite, but that's our tequila review for tonight. So back to the stock parts, OEM or aftermarket, and so if you just want to play it safe, like 100% safe, and you have access to it, and you don't mind paying a little bit more some of the time, because there's a lot of different variation. The safest way to go is always with OEM. Just that way, you're knowing if you're happy with how it worked and it was good and you got durability, I would put OEM parts back in all the time. But a lot of times I'm looking for a cost savings, little advantage there. Or maybe there's something that might have been it might yield a little bit more performance advantage. Some aftermarket stuff, frankly, is exactly the same as OEM, or so close you would not be able to tell. And it goes for, I think, almost everything. And we're talking about your TE300.
Yes.
So
2012 TE300.
And what are we rebuilding?
I kind of want to do I kind of want to do an engine rebuild on top of just kind of like rebuilding everything. I kind of want to start from scratch with that bike. I want a fresh start, honestly.
So, Matt, you should just sell the bike back to yourself. Just sell it to yourself for like $800, like bike in a basket case or whatever. Yeah, and start from there. Because I would actually, because I think what you're thinking is you want to strip this thing down and just clean everything and do everything one at a time.
And I just want to make sure everything's right from the ground up.
Okay.
Rather than always chasing some problem that I've always done with that bike.
So what I honestly think you should do is there's probably like 4 or 5 very big mechanical issues with this. I know that your clutch is kind of is kind of jacked up. Yes.
Yeah. Well,
your starter. I'm just going to go. This is off my mat. Remember, your starter is jacked up.
Well, no. So what happened was like the Bindex had blown up in it,
right?
And when it did that, where the starter motor actually, where the Bindex goes into the case, it actually like spun out and it broke where it fits in there. So in the case itself, like where that hole is that the Bindex spins in, it'll just spin itself right out.
So okay, so these are the 2 major issues. So I would just go in and fix those two things individually. Figure out what you need to do to get that starter working. I know there's some rebuild kits for those. You might need some new parts. You might need a new case. Who knows? Get that thing so it just starts up perfect.
Right.
You're done with that. Then start working on the clutch. Just figure out what you need in the clutch. Is the basket worn? Is the is the hydraulic slave cylinder sticking? Is the rod that goes through? Who knows what's wrong with that thing? Mojave Bob probably modified some stuff inside of there that you have no idea what he tried to do because he heard that like some factory team did this thing and he thought it would be better.
Right.
So I would fix the big issues. When you're kind of riding it, testing this stuff out, like notice, God, does this bike vibrate really bad? Oh, why is it vibrating? Maybe the pipe isn't mounted properly. So I would take a little bit different approach than just the wholesale tear it apart and try to fix everything all at once. Why not take things in small digestible things, and then you see an improvement, you get it. And as you're doing it, start thinking about, okay, what's the next most annoying thing about this motorcycle that I need to fix? Do I need to have the suspension revalved? Do I need to is there, who cares what it looks like right now? So because what the romantic theory on what you have going on here is that you want this just project bike looking showroom piece that's so awesome, and that's what everybody wants. But in reality, what's really causing you to do it is these mechanical gremlins. So
that's my thing is like, I feel like I just know that I would take better care of it now than I did when I was 16, 17,
Right.
So, and it's just, I don't want to, I want to actually,
levers, grips.
Yeah.
This just the contact points in the bike, make sure everything's straight, all this stuff. Logan's at the age where you were back then, and he's just destroying KTM 300 TPI bikes like they're going out of style, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So listen. So there's a few generations of knowledge being passed around here at this point because he was where you were at now, and you kind of see like, oh, the rim's a little bit bent. It doesn't matter. I'll ride it anyways. And the clutch doesn't work, but it doesn't matter. I'll ride it anyways. And those things kind of start like after a while, the clutch gets so bad you forget about the rim. The spokes all come loose. Then the wheel's trying to fall apart so bad that you can't true it. And then the clutch isn't working. Then you notice the wheel doesn't work. And then next thing you know, the top end's worn out and you don't have any money. Sound familiar?
Very familiar.
Yeah, never seen it happen before. Okay, let's move on to the next. Did I answer your question? So, anyways,
yeah, you did
we really broke that down. Was there a Husaberg on the screen behind me?
No. Behind you, it's just some stuff from the Honda shoot. This is actually from the last.
I saw a Husaberg, an old one.
Really?
Did I? Okay, like an old.
Maybe you're thinking of your Roost and Endo Husaberg.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. It was the old ones. Sorry. Go ahead. Next.
Craig Alberts, did you hear if the 2022 CRF 250RX would get the same upgrades as the CRF 250R?
Absolutely, every single one of the upgrades, and that's one of the cool things that Honda is doing with the RX is they're keeping it current with the R. So when the R gets changes, the RX gets changes, and that bike is essentially an all-new bike to the same level that the 250 is. And I'm excited to ride that one because the RX, I think the RX was better than the R before, and I think it'll make the stuff they did to it, if it carries over into the RX, and if they got the suspension working even better on the RX, that could be a really good bike. That bike would be. I'm excited to ride that one. So yeah, Craig, that's that's going to be a good bike. I hope. I have to ride it first. And so San Felipe Bob is asking Chris Real a question.
Where can I find information on how to refine my own gas?
So he wants to build a gas lab. Like a clandestine gas-producing facility inside of his garage. That what we're getting at?
That sounds like most people out in Pahrump. Like their alibis.
Okay.
Oh, that's the alibi.
Oh, that's the alibi.
Yeah.
Oh, I was trying to make my own gas, but it just happened to turn into crack.
Yes.
Whew. I don't think that's Bob though. Bob
Probably not. But
No, I think Bob really is worried about his children having the ability to ride gas burning motorcycles. And we've talked about this in the show, like in 20 years when all of a sudden, you know, they've and it's probably not going to be all electric. Trust me, it's going to be something different, hydrogen, whatever. Who knows what we'll be using to propel our vehicles. But if you want to have that gasoline burning experience, which power density per gallon, let's say, or for it is pretty good, and it transports relatively easy. It's long standing, but I think you're going to find that gasoline may be harder and harder to get and get more and more expensive. Now, when you're only burning 3 or 4 gallons, maybe you can take the $50 or $60 a gas tank that it may cost in 10 or 15 years to fill up your motorcycle. But I think that's what Bob's reaching at. He's like, where am I going to be able to get gas? I hear something too. What's the squeaky noise? We will be lucky that we don't have a loud, unmuffled quad.
Yeah,
doing
I
donuts.
That's what I just heard out there.
Oh, it might be. I don't know.
Yeah. Because I know that there is a squeaky. We do need to replace one of those plugins that's behind you, like the little box that's actually plugged in. It's just that thing makes a lot of noise, but
the box does.
Yeah. So where it plugs in. Next to the headphones.
Hey, we haven't had an audio. We no failures yet tonight, Matt.
No. So Christian is saying the show is lagging, but when I'm monitoring, I haven't seen any lags yet. So
I wonder where the lag is from.
Yeah,
So here's the thing: is when you're watching it live, it definitely can lag, and it could be on your end. It could be on some server in between me and you. I would love to hand deliver this show to you out there in the digital lands, but that's the way it's going to work. So Bob, start burying your money in coffee cans to buy gas for the future. Okay, next question.
Okay. Adrenaline addiction.
Oh, we got two. Matt, can you grab those other two? This is onto the YouTube comments, so we want to get to these other ones first.
Do you want me to just read them, or do you want me to send them to Logan?
No, read them.
Read them.
So from Christian Gorgon, he has a 2010 Husaberg FX 450 fuel pump question.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a 570. It's not 570, right?
It doesn't matter. It's a Husaberg.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
There we go. Oh, wait, we didn't ring it for my Husaberg then.
No.
I guess my Husaberg's not ding-worthy.
It's a 2-stroke, dude.
Okay.
It's only half the strokes. 570 should have it should be a 7-stroke motor. It's just so massive. You wonder where it develops all that torque.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I had a joke about you and strokes.
On to the question.
Anyway. So he's got the top end of the fuel pump out to replace the hydraulic connector, which is right by the air filter. And a guy from the parts department of his shop recommended that I change the fuel pump filters inside the tank. My bike is running fine. Is there something I should do since I have the top end of the tank open? I just need to remove the tank and open the bottom to get the fuel pump out. I've had the bike for a couple months, and I've had no idea when the filters were replaced. Thanks.
The fact that you're working on a Husaberg, we should probably have a moment of silence and prayer for this occasion. Yeah, it's good for audio, silence, and everything. But if you have that tank off and you don't know how long it's been used, I hear people having problems with fuel filters and fuel pumps all the time. And a lot of times it's like I go, they're telling me about it. They go, I have to change this, or this fuel filter split, and I go, was that on your bike? And they're like, oh no, it was just my buddy's bike. And I go, so you were with your buddy when it broke? And I read he posted about it on Facebook, and I'm like, okay, so your buddy posted about it on Facebook. Was it his bike? Well, no, it was a guy he was riding with's bike. So just by coronavirus infection parameters, I'm going to say that it's not really that big of a problem. And if it's working fine, I don't know if I would change it. I've had my tanks off on my bikes a lot, and I don't change them unless there's a problem. I don't want to mess with something that's working okay. But if you like to dump dirt in your gas tank, you have a quick fill, something interesting like this, then by all means, change it. That would be the case there. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. But if it's off and you just feel like changing it, it's just like we were talking about with your bike, Matt. Just do what you need to do, and then, it is really hard to get a Husaberg gas tank off, but you know how to get it off, and then you can go in there and change it, and then at that point, then you can do a little research on maybe replacing I would. And it depends. And the Husabergs never had fuel filter problems. It was just a certain batch of KTMs that have started this infectious disease, splitting fuel filters, plastic fuel filters. There's some different ones you can throw in there. But, yeah, next question. I think we had one more in there.
Yeah, is it the Joe Schmo one?
Joe Schmo?
Yeah, it's about injury bug.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Okay, yeah. So, Joe Schmo, how can I avoid the injury bug? In the last year, I've spent more time off the bike than on. Broken ribs, wrist, fingers, bruised hip bone, etc. I wear all the safety gear and have been working on my balance both on and off the bike. I aerobic exercise, lift, and do core. Seems like I get healed, ride for a month or so, then injuries again. Any suggestions or things to work on?
Logan? Logan? I'm referring to the expert.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of do that same thing too.
So you had similar experiences?
Haven't really done anything to fix it.
Oh.
Except for try to ride safer.
Okay. So, do you ever? It's funny as I don't see this in you at all. Like, there's the personality of the person that has that kind of like crash or win mentality.
Yeah.
See, there's people that have like I call it's more like skateboarders. They ride their motorcycle like they skateboard, where you are going to crash, and not only crash, you're going to eat shit. That's just the tricks you do on the stuff you do on a skateboard lends itself to eating shit. And I know a lot of skateboarders that ride dirt bikes, and God bless them, they're gnarly in what they do in their real world, but when they get on the motorcycle, they scare the crap out of me because they're the just crashing is just normal, and it's just that's how they learned. You have to try stuff and try through crashing. I call that practicing crashing. I don't think you should do it, but you never struck me as like that with that mentality. I think there are also people just have a run of bad luck, and I've had in my world in the last year also I've had a run of bad luck with some huge crashes, but luckily I kind of walked away from them. For what they were, they could have been way worse. And so I don't know. You can always wind it down a little bit. And even when I had my crashes, I felt as if I were winding it down. So I wasn't doing anything stupid. It was just kind of like it was lattice of coincidence, and it just things ramped up and got me. So I don't know about your crashes. Were you doing anything? One of them was dust. I know this.
Oh, that one?
Yeah.
Oh, nothing happened there. Nothing happened to me.
Oh, nothing happened. Oh, that was your dad you torpedoed.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the dust one. But you got two yourself.
Yeah, I got one at...
Where's your dad? You went riding with him this weekend, right?
Yeah.
You didn't crash into him, did you?
No.
Okay, good.
Whew. No. Not this time.
Okay, so your crashes were...
So one was slide out while slowing down.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one was slowing down into some rocks that were bigger than I read.
Wait. I thought one was just yard sale into rocks going too fast. So you were actually slowing down.
Yeah.
You saw the rocks and you started to slow down, but you realized it was too late.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah,
a lot bit.
It was quite late to realize how big they were, but like...
Was that on the beta?
Yes.
Okay.
It was that one.
And the other one you said was a slide out.
Yeah.
Oh, that was on the mini bike.
Yes.
You're right. We discussed this. Go to show episode, whatever. Which episode was that? We'll guess.
84.
Actually, find the episode I had to do by myself, and then the episode right after that will be the one where we get to talk about Logan's crash episode. So I don't think there's I think that you just need to. Everybody, it's kind of their own thing, but yeah, be a little bit safer, and maybe the time. You're kind of forgetting that time off. You're losing some just. Not doing it every day. And so sometimes you feel really good. Like you expect you can go back and hop right back on the horse, and you really can't. You have to work back up to it. And I know this guy that teaches riding schools that will make you a better rider. And that might help too. So www.jimmylewisoffroad.com. Shameless plug for the business that allows me to keep doing this.
There's also a beginner class now.
There's a beginner class. My producer can beginner you up, but if you're a beginner rider and you want to come out and take the beginner course, it's hot, but you have to do it in the morning.
Yeah. Well, we've had one person come out and be willing to come out that early.
Yeah.
So
good.
It's actually a 6-year-old. So if a 6-year-old
is he on Twitch?
Is
that our fan on Twitch?
Maybe.
Actually, I do have something that could help that I did.
Oh.
It was
all right, Logan.
go
camera's on you.
go slower, and I found go over bigger rocks. So more hard enduro stuff.
Oh, so you quit doing the high speed stuff and started concentrating on more slow speed technical stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. I kind of did that as I aged up, and now actually both of my crashes were during rally type activities, which would go right to your point. I don't think I haven't crashed in the moto track lately. Knock on wood, haven't crashed on hard enduro. Just doing rally stuff. So okay, slow down. That's the answer.
There you go. Yeah, I'd like to throw in that I haven't crashed in a long time, so. Mm-hmm. That may or may not be because I don't ride nearly as much as I used to.
I was going to say you don't ride very much.
I was going to say, yeah.
Okay, Logan, let's get into so our next phase of questions is YouTube questions.
Okay.
And I think the first batch that I put on there, or these are all from our a video. It's like it's all of 28 seconds long. It's got 3.4 million views. And it's of the Christini all-wheel drive prototype adventure bike. So go ahead. Let's run with it.
Adrenaline addiction. All-wheel drive, ?
Okay, so that's his comment. And this is where so we're on YouTube, so I'm just going to take 50% of your like the video is called all-wheel drive adventure bike. And so he says AWD, all-wheel drive, ? Adrenaline addiction. Like, he probably gets adrenaline from not reading the thing. Yes, it's an all-wheel drive adventure bike.
That guy, Kappa. Okay, hold on. Mind blown. Why wasn't this implemented before?
It has been implemented before. It's been implemented for a while, but not in the adventure bike realm. And I'd be the first guy to highly recommend a manufacturer pick up this technology and run with it because it's game changing. And I wish that there was a production one. I wish that the one that I have, that bike, still. I wish there was the motivation and money to get it working again. Because basically, my job was to break it, and I've done really good at that. And so we're at the point now where we need to upgrade the pieces that we were breaking, so it can work again. Because then you could do really, it would just make adventure bike riding for a lot of people so much better. That's it. Next,
Shreyas Kunda. How? ?
How?
Yes.
How? That's actually Shreyas Kunder. That's actually a good question. How? It's probably one of the best questions we've received out of all the questions. So how is, and you just research some of the Christini technology. they're taking power from the countershaft, transferring it through a gearbox and a clutch up along the frame rails, or they're transferring up into the headset. And where the Christini patents work is they have counter-rotating sprockets inside of the lower triple clamp that spin drive shafts that go down along the forks and transfer power into the hub. And they do it on both sides to eliminate countersteer, torque steer, because you get that if it was only on one side, it would want to pull one way or the other because of the chains, not because torquing the wheel, but because the way that the chains work, because of the whole gearbox assembly that's inside of the headset. And so that's how. There's been hydraulic systems before. They are attempting to do this with electronic systems with very little success. I don't know why. But then again, just like you don't know if your battery is charging because of your stator or your voltage regulator, I think electric is a little bit more confusing than we are led to believe. But I would think with all of the all-wheel drive and traction control and stuff that is out there, I would suspect that it's not that far behind. But then there's advantages and disadvantages. And the mechanical system is just very, very simple, even as complex as it is. So good question.
So while we're on the topic, John Jackson on YouTube did actually ask if someone raced Dakar on an all-wheel drive Yamaha YZF 450.
Yes. I don't remember when. I know that during some stages they actually didn't run the all-wheel drive system. It was on the bike, and they would, because it was a durability thing at the time. But yes, somebody has raced Dakar on a Yamaha that was, the Olin's Yamaha was the hydraulic system. So, and I've ridden that as well, and it's there's lag, there's hydraulic lag and weight, and it was good. It was close, but not as good as the mechanical system in my
Would that
opinion.
lag actually lead to like a dangerous situation? Because I can see like if you're in a turn or something that could maybe, like if you're coming out of a turn and your wheel's still wanting to go one way and it has power to go into it.
As much as the electrical systems aren't tied 1-to-1. I don't want to call it 1-to-1 with your rear wheel, but in a consistent way with the back. Like if you start riding it and expect something to happen and it doesn't, just like anything, if you expect your suspension to absorb a bump a certain way and it doesn't, it throws you for a little bit of a loop. But yeah, in that way, there was a little bit of that. Although it was relatively consistent, there was some inconsistencies with it that you would have to learn.
Got it.
Douglas Torn. Sand is hard on bikes.
Sand is hard on bikes. So, does he mean like it's hard to ride your motorcycle in the sand, or does he mean like sand is hard on the bike because it might get in the air filter or get in the chain and sprocket, or the way he spelled hard on, maybe he's excited about sand. I don't know. So Douglas, that's an excellent statement that has a good fit on YouTube's statements on our videos. Thank you.
Deb Ashes Mohanty.
Oh, let me try that name. Come on.
Yep.
Deb Ashish Mahan. That's a hard one.
I still think that's real RWD.
Isn't there roost coming from the front wheel on that video?
Yeah. So, what am I hearing? Am I hearing a quad? You hear that? Am I hearing a quad? We have a quad team from Dakar here training. So, that's why I said it could just blow up at any moment. We could have quads doing donuts. Windows could be broken with rocks. You just never know. Like it needs to be back and forth. They could be I'm just hoping the Willy Boys don't go up and down the street because it'll prompt a riot.
Oh, the Wheelie Boys actually
Versus-
going down my street.
Oh, they're on your street now.
They're on my street now.
Well, you
yeah.
guys have a pot farm over there, so I'd show off in front of there too.
Yeah, maybe they're trying to get
Yeah, of course. It's rear wheel drive when I turn it off, and then it's all wheel drive when I turn it on. Very simple. It's like a normal motorcycle when I turn it off. And that video, it's like 28 seconds of pure YouTube magic, is just to demonstrate what that thing does. So on two of the things, I think 2 times I turn it on and off, yes, it's rear wheel drive. So I think you're right 50% of the time, like most of my friends.
Yes, it's not all-wheel drive, it's both-wheel drive.
No, it's not both wheel drive. It's only when I turn the switch on. So it's not all-wheel drive. Well, it only has 2 wheels. So if both wheels are driving, then it's all-wheel drive. So what is both wheel drive? Is that a new term? Maybe he's trying to make a new. He wants it to call a BWD, both wheel drive.
I guess.
Is that the guy that's just starting to stick the stick in the spokes? Just trying. He's the smart ass. Is that guy just being a smart ass?
Yes, I think so.
That's why he doesn't use his real name. Okay.
Canon 08. Is this another Christini advertisement?
No. Say it like it's spelled.
That's Canyon.
Saw the spelling.
Yeah. No, I know not his name. That
Canon.
name there. That name.
Crustini.
Crustini. Yeah, it's a Crustini advertisement. Yeah, I'm a Crustini. What are you? When you're a hired henchman, you're a what do they call it? Shill for the company. I do development work and stuff for Christini, and it's not an advertisement. It was just put out there because I thought it was very interesting, and luckily George had a camera when we were out doing it. We have more video clips of this. We need to do another video to explain more about this, but it's not an advertisement because I wouldn't have told you how the thing is broken if I was an advertiser. Or if Christine was an advertiser, I probably would have just left that out. I probably would have told you anyways. I don't care. It's not like I try not to talk about bad stuff, but it's a good thing because this is how products get to the level that they get to. Like when things need to be improved upon, you develop them. And the fact that Steve has faith in me to send me stuff because he knows that I can reliably put it to a certain level, to test it. And I know, different ways to put things through strain. Feeling left out with that fly because that fly didn't land on you?
No, I'm trying to find it.
But anyways, that's what we do. We test things and so that was that's where we're at. So no, not a Christini advertisement, a Crustini advertisement.
Old G.
So this is we're on to the Honda 250 video. So last week we couldn't talk about the 2022 Honda CRF 250R because we were still under embargo, and you guys slid some questions in underneath us, and we tried our best to answer them. So if you have those questions now, which I'm sure I haven't watched, have you watched all the other videos from the other media outlets or anything yet?
No, I've been too busy. Yeah,
me too. I didn't see what everybody else said. I sometimes I go back and do it just to see what they said or what they missed out on, because it's interesting to actually be there and see what they're doing and then finally see what they say. But if you have any questions about that bike, I can surely answer them tonight, because I promise you, without fail, I have more time on that bike than anybody else that was at that intro. I can absolutely 100% guarantee you that. And the reason I spent so much time on it is so I could answer questions. So fire away. And what did old G say?
Enjoyed the ride, my friend. Thumbs up. Appreciate y'all. Yeah. Appreciated. Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. Thank you. I rode my ass off for you, buddy.
And it was such a hard task for you to do.
I'm still sore.
Really?
I have some muscle issues going on in my what do they call this thing here? It's a muscle that's IT band. Because yes, I'm fatter than I should be, and every time I come up short on triple jump, imagine carrying a a small bag of cement around with you and doing things like jumping. Stupid, but I did it anyways for you.
You have been motoing a lot lately, huh?
Well, 2 times in the last year, so it's good. I mean, in the last calendar year. So yeah, a lot. No, not much.
Chipper 442.
Okay, so I want Chipper to come on this show because Chipper is he's a fuck you holding down the he's got the chapter, I think, up in the I think he's holding it down in the Massachusetts area. So go ahead.
Having owned and raced RM 370s, XR 600s, and even a 03 CRF 450R in the New England woods and moto tracks over the years. At 55, I enjoyed my 19 CRF 250R. It has plenty of power for J days and NETRA events. Nitra events, and works fine on the moto tracks. From Wareham to Crow Hill to MX 23.
Those are all local Massachusetts Nitra circuits and stuff like this. So, if you had a 19, was there an RX in 19? I think there was, right, Logan? 20, yeah, there would have been a 19 RX. I'm surprised you didn't start with the RX, but not with the Honda. They're pretty similar. I think the things, but I think that and the fact that you said RM 370, it just scares the hell out of me because I had one of those. It was I don't even know where I got it, but I actually got it, and I got a hold of work suspension for the thing, and that was a light switch of a power band. XR 600 had more power band than you ever needed. Like, it just actually didn't even have a power band. It just had torque. And a CR 450R that year, the 03s are pretty good. And the fact that you're riding all those bikes in the woods is scary. But I know you kind of people, and you don't have, you're a little off, is what they say. Jerry told me about you guys, a little off. So that's why I moved out to California, because he wanted to get away, I think. Maybe find better people, more off people. So what does he say? Map 2 saved my ass?
At the 2021 Northeast 24-hour challenge, only made 7 hours before flooding stopped the event, but the bike was flawless. Hashtag no wing, no prayer. C442
Fuck you.
There, racing for life.
It's a good club with a bad name. So it's like GCBN. Yeah. So yeah, Chipper. I think you're the new, you need to get an RX. That's what I'm going to say. If you're riding in the woods, get the RX. I think it'll work substantially better. And then Map 2 would be even better. Actually, on the R, I could see where the Map 2 would work for you. I'm funny with the maps. I like the most aggressive map, even in the most technical situations. And I've learned this on a lot of other stuff. But I think I'm very careful with my my right wrist. So good.
I've never heard of flooding stopping an event where I've.
Oh, I saw some videos from it. It was a 24-hour event, and they like the rivers started. You know how the streets in Pahrump looked like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
It was like that, but like through the woods, and it's not big and flat like we have out here.
Yeah.
It was narrow canyon. So when you have a narrow kind of canyon, imagine like you're riding across a dip the size of this table, and all of a sudden it looks flat because there's water running across it. You know how much force that water has?
A lot.
Right. Matt could calculate it out, but we don't want to talk about smart.
My name, what?
We don't want to talk about smart people right now. He's got a side chat going with some of the ladies in the room right now, I'm sure.
Yes, because there's many of those.
Right. I saw, you know, our audience profile, the female level's going way up since Matt's been on the thing. I don't know what you're doing over there, but that's good.
Okay, yeah. It's just that extra element I bring to the show.
I just see George commenting, who shot the 28-second video that has over 3 million views? I don't remember. It's like I just hand my phone to somebody and they shoot it. Do you remember? I think it might have been Jim.
Well, you said it in the show already.
Well, the one that I handed it to those two guys. They're both out there. So I think Jim shot the one that had the 3.4 million views. George shot the other ones.
I know Jim's really good with technology. So.
Yeah, he's good with technology.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sent me a joke about the mafia the other day. I thought it was funny.
Oh.
So.
You want to say it on the show, or?
I don't remember it that well, but it was funny. Okay.
John Jackson, how is that MTB suspension company?
Mountain bike suspension.
Companies seem to be using technology to move forward faster than dirt bike suspension companies. A consumer can buy a fairly inexpensive telemetry kit with an app/software to help dial in his mountain bike suspension. When will dirt bike suspension and or suspension aftermarket companies follow this trend and join the 21st century?
So, John, great question. Now, he's poked us a couple times with some of these technology questions, I remember. So electronic suspension, I think, is banned in racing, in a lot of racing organizations. So that's the biggest thing right now is you can't race with it. So a lot of times, as far as an evolution, something they can sell, it's just like, okay, since we can't race with it, we can't sell it, and it's a loophole that leaves them out. I know, because I've seen it before, that when they test, they have this telemetry. This stuff exists, that so they can see exactly what the shock does, and they can correlate what the shock does to what the test rider says, and then they can learn a lot about like what the actual action of a fork or a shock does in relation to what it feels like and how they can improve it. And I've seen this technology make stuff get better very quick, and I've also seen it just go haywire and produce information that caused confusion, and in the net things were difficult. So I think with mountain bikes and stuff, you're so limited in power, the amount of power you're getting out of the bike. You're removing a lot of you're removing a lot of the difficulties in getting it tuned, because you're not going to see these big changes in power, which can affect quite a bit of the chassis dynamics and stuff like this. But but the mountain bike industry is, you can have 50 different suspension things, and nobody's going to walk up there and go, that's the only one, that's the best one. It's not. It's kind of not this way. They seem to be more open to change, more open to trying different things. They aren't settled on it has to be this one kind of style of linkage. And I remember back in the early '80s when you had Yamaha had their monoshock, and Suzuki had their full floater, and Kawasaki had their Unitrack, and Honda had the ProLink. And sure enough, it didn't take long for the one that was perceived as the best to everything sort of morph into that. And I don't know if that was necessarily the one that was really the best. I remember the full floater kind of being the better of all of them, having the best rear suspension. And I was just getting into it at the time. And, Yamaha went away from a shock that was up where your gas tank was to, figuring out a way to make a linkage work that was kind of riding essentially above the swing arm, kind of a different deal. So, and it just, and look at KTM with PDS, for instance. The PDS system works very, very well, but everybody hates it. So, and it's like, okay, we'll go to linkage, and all of a sudden, they go to linkage, and luckily they timed that right with starting winning Supercross champions and stuff. So, okay, linkage is better. And I don't think a lot of those guys would have even thought about moving over to a bike that had PDS, because it had never performed well before. I'd be real interested to see someone kind of come back, and I wish there was a top rider with an open mind that would try something new. And you kind of see this now with like air shock, for instance. You hear of a lot of top riders running air shocks, not running air shocks, running air shocks, not running. If they're willing to try it, and those guys are doing it, there's something about it that's a lot better for them to even risk trying it. But the fact that they go back to what they know and what they've used, I think it's a little bit of, it's the head case. It's like, if I'm not winning on this thing instantly, then I just got to go back. And a lot of us look to racing and say, okay, that's what's next. That's what the future is. And since they can't race with electronic stuff to bring this thing back full circle, there's no reason to really kind of dive into it and start testing it and offering it. On the on-road side with like the adventure bikes and some of the touring bikes and stuff, they have, electronic suspension. And it's now, I know that it's to the level where it's instantly changing the shock very quickly. Like it senses how fast the shaft is moving, and it senses how much, it knows the speed, it knows all the stuff. It knows where the bike is, it knows how much it's leaned over. It's all the same sensors they're using for all this ABS and traction control. Now they're putting into the suspension, and they're able to kind of design and develop. So it's going on. I just think it's going to be a hard sell to move it over into our dirt bike world at a time when they're trying to keep the costs down and keep it as simple as they can. And I don't know that stuff is working all that bad to where you need that level of an advantage just yet, especially if you can't race with it.
So John is actually in the chat, and he added to it. He was more talking about the data acquisition systems for consumers.
Okay, so if it's on a mountain bike, and I don't know exactly how they're measuring the shock travel. I haven't seen any of these systems, but you could adapt it over to a motorcycle, and I would suspect gain the same stuff if it's a kind of an aftermarket system. But like Fox has, my buddy was riding a giant mountain bike the other day with electronic suspension. Mm-hmm. I was riding my electric bike, and by the way, just smoking him. He was, but like I said, Dave, your bike's an electric bike too, because it has a battery on it. Mm-hmm. And I don't care what your battery's doing. Like you shouldn't care what my battery's doing.
Right.
Me and my elite athlete legs, like we deserve to like ride at that level and perform that high level without all the training that goes into it. It's okay.
So if I'm allowed to ask a question while we're actually talking about suspension systems and why they try what...
No, you should send it to me you should post it on Facebook for better content.
Okay, all right.
No, go ahead, Matt.
No, so my question is, I remember a few years ago, there was a big push from the manufacturers to go to like the air forks and everything, but then they all switched back. Was that just because consumers didn't want to deal with the change, or was there a cost reason for why they went from traditional to air fork then back?
So there were a lot of advantages to air forks, and there were a lot of disadvantages to air forks. And probably the thing that I believe that they came out a little bit early to where there were some failures. Not a lot of failures, but just enough failures to make the failure seem like, oh my God, these things are going to fail. And some of them did, of course. Mm-hmm. But they got a lot better very quickly. They were also super complicated. Like some of them had up to 3 different air chambers that you could completely. They were the adjustability level beyond what factory forks are adjustable at. Mm-hmm. They were really good. I loved them. I liked almost every air fork that I ever rode because I could tune it and make it work for me better than any spring fork I'd ever ridden. And so I was in the weird thing, but I don't mind checking pressures and adjusting things to make stuff work, work bad,
right? Work
better. I don't mind playing with it. I don't mind learning what this chamber does, that chamber does, feeling the differences, so I can at least explain it to somebody. Now, does the average guy? The average guy doesn't like to even check his tire pressure on his tires, let alone check the tire pressure or air pressure on his forks. Check the sag on the bike. I mean, so many people are complaining about their bikes, and I'm like, oh, what's your ride height set at? And they're like, huh? I'm like, well, where's your sag? Huh? Well, it's where it came. And I'm looking at, either, somebody Logan size or somebody that's 220 pounds on a 250F and going, well, if you haven't changed it, it's not right. I know this right away. So your bike, I don't care what you're complaining about. You need to at least adjust this to get into the zone. So air forks were really good, and like I say, complex. They were lighter, they were less weight, which was good. If you needed to go up a spring rate, it was a matter of putting some air pressure in. You didn't have to change the springs. So there's a lot of advantages to them, but the media really just said these things suck, because most of the media is like,
Well, traditionalists, yeah.
No, they're like more like they're at the intro what the bike is, and they're like, when's lunch? When's lunch going to be? Lunch? I got to do a video. Can you? I got to eat lunch, but I have a video to do, and I already got my rad photos done. And how does the bike work? Oh, can you tell me about that? Lunch? Anybody?
Right.
So when you have to do that and test a fork that has like 3 different, actually at that time like 6 different things to adjust. Lunch is way more important. So the fork sucked. So that's what happened to air forks. KTM still runs air forks, and I think they do have some of the best air forks. I don't remember. It has been a while now. I don't remember which one I liked best, the Show or the Kiaba. One of them I was able to get it to work so bitchin' because it had another chamber. It had like the secondary chambers, and you could really tune it. But hey, they're good now. Your bikes have air forks, yeah?
Yes,
You're
they
right.
both do.
They suck, right?
I occasionally like spring forks, but I would prefer the air fork every single time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, because you can just let air out and get it for your weight
Yes.
better.
That's I remember when I rode that gas with you that one time, and we just made a change out on the trail to the air pressure in the forks.
Right, the 350.
Yeah, and right there, I was sold on air forks because just being able to make changes that easily out on the trail and just make the forks feel much more plush. And we did that with that KTM 125 XC that I had that was testing.
Right.
So anyway, yeah, that's kind of like why I wanted to.
Yeah,
train on it.
it's and it's like I said, it's personal preference, but the media, just like media everywhere, has a lot of influence over what happens, and I'm pretty sure that they, that once they say something sucks, then just like the fuel pumps or whatever on the KTMs need to be replaced every 17 minutes or 20, I don't remember. Every tank of gas, you have to replace the fuel pump, and when all of a sudden you start like, oh, somebody said this and somebody said that and this, then it just goes down rabbit hole. Mm-hmm. So, okay.
Fast and Loud said, "Great video, thumbs up."
Fast and Loud. is that a should I enjoy that? Should I be happy that Fast and Loud likes my video, or should I just be scared?
Isn't Fast and Loud like a show, or it was a show or something?
I don't know. I didn't go rabbit hole on his post. So okay, what was the next one?
Zeppa 084040 sounds like diarrhea.
Right. So I'm not sure exactly what diarrhea sounds like. Okay, so if I'm just taking them, but like. Fast and Loud said it was a good video, and Zeppa says it sounds like diarrhea. I looked at Zeppa's thing, and he likes he hasn't put any videos up, but he likes gardening and crappy rap videos. Those are the things he watched. So if you're comparing our video saying it sounds like diarrhea to gardening, I think he's like listening to like the weed whacker sounds and the leaf blowers and stuff.
Yeah.
And then like rap videos and like it's whatever floats your boat. So good.
Stephen Davis, good review. Been a while since I was excited about a new Honda.
Yeah, I think you should be excited. It's a good Honda.
Caden Thompson, my home track. Can't wait to ride Saturday.
So Caden posted that, and then there was a couple other people. It's kind of funny how these things go into like these little sub chats. All of a sudden, I think what's the other guy's name? OG is he in that list there? Is he? Oh, he didn't make it into that post there. Somehow it got kicked off there. But they chit chatted about the track, and the interesting thing about that track was we were literally riding on like wood chips. There was dirt in there someplace, but it was mostly like in like not little wood chips. They were like big wood chips. They were like, picking them out of like they fly up and get in the shock. They go in the shock kind of inside of the spring. I never had one go down my pants, but I don't think I'd want that to happen. I don't know I got roosted a little bit, but not a lot by wood chips. They don't have the same density as dirt, so it didn't hurt. But I think the dirt there, that track was like a park. It looked bitch, and it was a really fun layout. Like all the jumps were doable. Even this one triple jump, when I finally got my line, I had to get about 10 extra feet of run at it to clear it on that thing. So I was testing the power. But it was a fun track. So they went back and forth about like the track, and they talked about how I'm trying to see if it's in there someplace. No, I don't think it is. The dirt underneath was super hard pack, and when the dirt would come up, it would get polished, and it was like our dirt out here. Like like right after it rains, like the hard pack stuff, when it gets that little the water doesn't soak in, and it gets that little thin stuff on top. So fun track, and then the guys worked really hard to prep it. It was awesome to see them out there. Really, and they had a lot of respect for their track. They wanted to show it off to the media. It was cool.
Brett V. Another great review, Jimmy. Looking forward to the next one.
The diarrhea sounds?
Yeah.
The diarrhea sounds, yeah.
Iron Thumb. Is it better than last year's bike?
Iron Thumb got a reply from, who replied?
Anakin Skywalker.
Right. That came straight from outer space. Like, he didn't, so this is, like, if Anakin Skywalker feels the need to comment on your YouTube comment, it's got to be pretty good, right? I mean, that guy's in outer space, and he took the time out of his life. What was his answer?
Yes.
That's the answer. It's better than last year's bike. Yeah, we need this. We need the Star Wars music. Should have queued up the Star Wars music.
I don't want to get copyright struck.
Yeah, don't get struck down the copyrights. Okay. Well, what about diarrhea sounds? Can you get nailed for those?
Probably not, but we might have some other issues.
Okay.
Ian Porteous. Cool episode. I'd send in a picture of my awesome motorcycle, but I think would break your board.
Oh, it sounds like Ian has called us out for what's our next segment, Logan?
Rooster Endo.
That's right, Rooster Endo. So Ian is actually my brother-in-law. You go get the board and do your thing there. My brother-in-law, and I know he has a nice Chariot. I can't remember. I don't know if it's a DR 125 or a DR 200. It's something like that. And he thought it would break the board, but Ian's hobby is woodworking, Logan. And I did respond back to him, and I said, if you saw the board that Logan made, it might break your heart. So, here we go. We're working on, so this is where the show gets real interesting. We'll just put it up here. Hopefully, I'll hold it up as much as I can, or set it up against this. If you're new to the show, this is our Rooster Endo board. This is where you send us a photo of your bike, you tell us about it, and then we try to do a consensus and figure out where it goes on the scale. Of course, the scale is monitored by a really awesome. It's bookended by a really awesome Honda ATC 185 that friend of the show, sometimes co-host, but now he's scared to come back. George, spelled Jorge. His ATC 185, which is a real disgrace. And then up on the other end, literally off the scale, is the glorious Jimmy Lewis Husaberg 570. Yep. And just so you know where you're sitting there, if you think you can fit something in between here, we'll tell you what we think and go from there. So what do we got, Logan?
We have from Jared Stone.
Does Matt have these things queued up on the thing to pop them up on the screen?
I think they somehow got jumbled up. Jared Stone's the first one?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. Here it is. It's on the screen for the viewers.
Right. So what we're looking at right now is a 2015. Oh, you got to steal the pins back. A 2015 KTM 500 XCW. It has a BRC 500 two-stroke with high compression head. Oh, wait a minute. This is a two-stroke?
Yeah.
I don't get to look at these. Let me look at the photo real quick.
Look at the pipe on this thing.
Oh, yeah, okay. BRC 500 two-stroke with high compression head, Creft, full suspension, power CDI ignition, full tubeless with GT 333 tire. It has a snow track kit on it.
Yes.
Yeah, snow bike.
Yeah, but it says tubeless with tires. So
I would say it's tubeless. Yes.
It's tubeless. Timber sled RO 137. So that's what it is. You can hold that up there out in the front. You just even though it's out there, you can just put it up and they can see it on the screen. Higgy. That's right. Higgy pipe with FMF core silencer. That Higgy pipe is a hand welded coned pipe. Those are sexy. That looks good.
Yeah.
Seat concept seat. I like those. I run those on my thing. Scott's bars with the Scott's damper. That sounds familiar around here, huh? V-Force reeds with technology elevated SC2 carburetor with TPS. Now, I don't know a whole lot about that. Let me see if I can see much in that motor. I think the BRC motor is the sidecar racing motor. It's kind of it was the old Mako, somehow the Mako thing. But the fact that it's got its own carburetor with a throttle position sensor, this thing could probably be pretty badass.
See, so my problem with this one is that it's a snow bike, and
this is not a snow show.
It's not a snow show.
But Klein makes snow gear, and they're a sponsor.
They do, but also I had a bad experience on snow bikes. I only ridden them once, and it was like I'd never ridden before when I was trying to figure out how to ride the thing. I looked like an idiot out there on it.
So what's the difference between that and dirt is?
It's snow and
snow,
in dirt,
right?
I can actually.
No, I was talking about your riding.
Yeah. Well, no. In dirt, I actually look a little more natural in the dirt.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're fun to jump, though. I will say.
You were jumping a snow bike?
Yeah.
Whew. That's actually gnarly because you never know when they're going to take off.
Yeah, it's part of the fun. No,
Yeah.
so you can actually tell once you get used to it and you get your eyes adjusted to the snow and everything.
Yeah.
I actually have videos of me on that. It was for a demo day.
What bike were you on?
So I was on a couple different ones. I was on they used a motocross bike, so I was on a 450 SX and then a KX 450.
Well, I'll tell you the one thing about a snow bike is you can never have too much power. Like
100%.
Like they just need a lot of stinking power. So that's good. It's a 500 two-stroke. They have a lot of power. I'm gonna wait a little, on definitely into the Roos thing. I'm gonna go over here. I don't care what Matt says right now. Where do you think it should go, Logan?
I was thinking
right about there.
I
You're
don't
thinking?
I don't know what the bikes are right there, but
yeah, you're just gonna put it over. Just put it right over the top of something else. It doesn't matter. If he would have just sent a picture of only the pipe, it would be even farther up.
It would be on the cardboard bit.
No, it wouldn't.
It would be there.
It's not going to wait.
That pipe is...
It's pretty neat. Yeah.
I don't know what the sexual orientation is called for two-stroke pipes, but I'm that.
Okay. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Our next bike up, Ian Underhill, is showing us a picture of a 2012 Honda XR650L, which, from my recollection, is the same as the probably the 1998, 1980. When did they make XR650L? Probably like 91-ish, 92. I don't know. Where's Ray Conway when you need him? It's a new old bike. A Sutton CycleWorks oil cooler, a Scott stabilizer, rocks risers, upgraded shock and fork springs, fork brace, Lex slip-on exhaust, LED lighting, assorted hemisphere off-road protection items. Let me take a look at this bike here. Oh, he forgot to mention the giant tank. He's got a giant Acerbis 6-gallon tank on it. That's actually not a bad chariot. So if you are in this caught up in this, the KTM 500 is the best bike in the world or the best bike for everybody in the world thing? Kind of, do you know anybody that says that?
A couple.
Yeah. And you want something that's like, and I say the best adventure bike for everybody is a KLR 650. But you want something that's a little bit in between those two things for some strange reason. You want a little bit more of what each of those bikes can offer, but you don't want all of the stuff that those things offer, like a really super low price or a super, super high performance capable bike. This is the bike. It's actually a good bike. You probably don't need an oil cooler on that thing because they run forever anyways. But all the other stuff, I don't know about the risers. They scare me. Actually, oh, you know what? That bike totally needs them. I forgot which bike it was. The stock handlebars and stuff on those bikes, they're just putting the handlebars in your lap. So I think that's a pretty good chariot. What do you think, Logan?
I'm looking at where you can, as far up as you can get on the seat, and you're saying they put it in your lap.
The handlebars. Yeah.
I'm thinking,
but that is look at how much seat there is in there. Look at that seat compared to like a modern bike.
Yeah,
that's a lot of cushion.
And obviously that'll squish down, so you're even farther away.
It depends on the seat foam. He didn't really go into a seat foam or anything, but that's it. What do you think, Matt?
I think it's like about average to I'd say average to Rooster.
Average to Rooster. So it's right in the middle of the line.
Yeah.
That's what that bike is. That bike is that's a middle of the line motorcycle. Mm-hmm. It's a mid, that's just right in the middle. That bike's. It's kind of he's trying to build the bike that does everything, and for him it probably does. So Ian Underhill, that's a nice chariot. We're gonna give it a. It's not gonna get picked on. I'm nice right tonight. I don't have to go get on a stinking airplane.
Yeah, I know. I'm still upset that CR that.
They're not talking about it.
Yeah,
last week's. That's old news. You have to watch last week's show. That's show 104.
It should be above those 6 days, in my opinion. But
Jordan Siegel.
Okay, let me tell you what we're looking at here. So Jordan Siegel has a 2021 FE 501S. That would be a Husky. It's used for high-speed sand and technical single track. Let me look at the picture there. I haven't seen this thing before. High-speed sand and single track. It looks like it's chained up to a couple posts, like it was a wild animal, and they had to tame it. He's given us all of his technical details with the fork springs and the shock spring. 5.72. Let's see. So he's an average sized guy contemplating a WP Pro cartridge kit. Rear license plate holder delete with sick ass LEDs and plate holder. Read delete, filter cage screen, 6 times piggyback fuel tuner, 6X. That's sounds like the JD jetting one. FMFQ slip-on, Starcross 5 front tire, a Bridgestone X30 rear with rim locks and wheel weights. So that's an interesting combination. Is it Starcross? Let me see if I can see what the tire is. It is a 5 or like the soft. Yeah, so in the sand, you want that 13-tooth front sprocket, Super Sprox 49-tooth rear sprocket, and Regina X-Ring chain to be installed. Oh, he's calling out products he hasn't even put on the bike. Well, you know what that does, Logan?
I think
that moves ever so slightly over this way.
Yeah,
it's like you just told me, oh, my bike's not that good, and it goes like that because you have to do more stuff to it.
Yeah.
That's like writing a check for money that you don't have.
Oh, okay. Well, but he has it, but maybe he doesn't have it. Maybe he's going to get it. I don't know. CNC blue power parts clutch lever. That's important. The blue clutch lever. Ram ball mount and adapter for left rear view mirror. Okay, so he took the janky stock ones off of it. Giant loop bar bag. What do you think he carries in there?
Hopefully a medical ID, stuff like that.
You crash when that's your first go-to.
Tuss small saddlebags and fender tube bag. Let's see. He's This guy's got the tech specs on his. I just wonder why it's chained up to the. Oh, those are sticks. It does look like it's chained up to those.
Yeah, I think it's just leaning up on it.
It's leaning up against those.
Yeah.
Right. It's a pretty nice bike. I mean, I think I'd like to have one of those that was orange because I don't like the linkage. I like the PDS, but wait, I think I have one of those. A 20. Oh, he's a 21. The 21 Huskies do look good.
I do like that.
It's got a really clean look. And where are you going to put it, Logan? I'm putting you in charge of this one since you just totally told the guy he's a crasher.
Well, I hear high-speed sand and no other dirt bike tracks on the road nearby.
Right.
So I'm assuming he's riding by himself. So
A technical single track
technical high-speed sand.
and technical single. He's doing everything with it.
Yeah.
It looks like, is he in Florida? That's Florida or Michigan.
No,
I'm guessing.
that's way too green. I'm gonna say that's either Michigan or
Yeah, Florida or Michigan, like sand dunes. They have some sand dunes in Oklahoma too, but yeah, you're in charge, Logan. I'm out on this one.
Oh boy.
You and Matt can decide.
Yeah, I'd put it maybe above the XR, but not by much. It's only for the fact that
Who's gonna run?
Yet.
But who's gonna run out of gas first?
Him.
This guy? Then it has to go behind the bike if it's gonna run out of gas. Because it's just the way it is. So it's a little bit over to the side.
Yeah. Make sure it's above the 6 days though.
Extra bonus backdrop for the Canadian. Wait, Jordan's on the chat.
Yeah.
Canadian Rocky Mountains. Hold on. He's watching. It's just going to move up. It's going to move up the thing. The XR 600 started in 1982. Yeah, I know that. Let's see. It's leaned up, is what he said. Jordan tells me it's leaned up. What is lean? Oh, it's leaned up against the.
It's not chained down.
Well,
I think the way the branches kind of look.
Of course,
like
you might be listening to this and you're wondering what we're talking about. So he's leaned it up against a couple sawed off trees out in like a sand duney area, and the trees look like they've just been recently cut, and there's like frayed off pieces of them, and they look like strings, and it literally looks like there's strings wrapping around the back tire and then wrapping around the front tire. It looks like almost like somebody played a joke on him and tied his bike to these posts, and so it looks like a caged animal. It really is kind of a caged animal. That since he's on the chat, we have to be nice to him now, Logan. You got to run it up a little bit higher so it can go in front of that Honda, that junky Honda. Remember when we couldn't even say the name of that brand on the show?
Yeah. We kept having saying like red bikes.
No, white.
Orange,
the white KTMs.
Yeah.
We call them white KTMs.
Oh, actually, then
Or
I don't.
the
remember
other
that.
H's?
I don't.
the other H bike.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get it or did you miss? Well, this is the way this stuff goes, and since we're going on YouTube's, if we're dumbing it down too much for you, just let us know, because I watched Idiocracy and I remember that, like, actually, you know what's funny in Idiocracy is nobody was drunk. They were just all energy drinked up.
Yeah.
And I would think that over time, like, the alcohol would really sort of take over, but I think they were probably on something else. Okay. Wait, here we go. I'm looking at this.
Oh, is this the?
No, it's Jim
Oh,
Tyler.
wait a minute.
So this one's gonna go really high up because my awesome car is in the background.
Oh.
Okay, so you hold that up.
This had two people write the
It took two people to write this.
Yeah, but the other party doesn't know they wrote it. The one party doesn't know the other party wrote it.
So this is Jimmy Tyler, friend of the show. If you may know, it's Logan's dad. It's a 2020 KTM 300 TPI. Scott stabilizer. Well, if it's the 2020 bike, that's yours now.
Yes. Just keep reading.
It was still Jimmy's bike when this was.
Baja Designs Squadron Pro headlight with Moto-minded mount, right? Nitro mousses, a George Justice graphics kit, and a better rider. That's you.
Yeah, that's what I said.
That's what you said.
Yeah.
But it's not Jimmy Tyler's bike. Or
At that point, it was.
Oh, when this got sent in.
But when
now there's been a transfer of ownership.
An update, yeah.
Right, update. I'm curious because so this is the last dirt bike your dad's ever going to buy for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know this, right?
Yeah, probably.
He announced it on the show. It was live on the show. It was probably breaking news, and you probably weren't paying attention. But so how is that bike doing?
So I bent the clutch lever and broke it twice in one ride.
This weekend?
Yeah.
Oh. Wraparound handguards, bro. Where's that? It's not on the list.
No, it is not.
No. And then Scott's stabilizer. He hasn't taken that back off and put it on his bike yet?
No, he stole the one that's about 7 or 8 years old.
Uh-huh.
That we put on my 125.
Right.
He put that on his new 300.
Oh, yeah. They last a long time. The dampers work great, and they're easy to service. He just bought a mount kit and put it on that.
No, he used the one off the 125, so it was completely free.
Oh, from the KTM 125.
Yes.
When you said 125, somehow I was thinking Yamaha, but I was thinking YZ250. You guys have too many bikes too. It's a problem out here in Pahrump. We just end up with like lots of motorcycles. If you're not into meth, you can buy motorcycles. It's easy. You don't spend it on the other stuff. Nitro mousses, that's good. Headlights good. That's a really good bike, but it's also pretty. The better rider is a good thing, but the sticker kit, it's gonna go down it's gonna go down to the level where the other guy it's gonna go, because the sticker kit kind of matches this 3-wheeler down here.
Yeah.
They go hand in hand. The sticker kit and the 3-wheeler guy are kind of they're synonymous.
The guy who invented that sticker kit did ask about it in the chat.
Yeah, I see that. What is that awesome sticker? Well, that quad probably has a lot of those stickers on it. What about that? Logan, Tyler, tell us about the video your dad posted of the cool stuff you retrieved from the desert.
We found on Saturday. We found a 55-gallon blue barrel in, let's say, the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
And we retrieved it
Did
on
it,
our way back home.
Did it like wash out of town? Probably on a river.
Yeah.
And you okay? So you retrieved. How do you carry a 55-gallon?
Oh, only one crash happened during it. So
Did you have your medical card?
Yeah. I would put it on the foot peg. I would somehow figure out how to pick it up and set it on the foot peg and then counterweight and balance.
That's
but then if you try to turn to that side, your handlebar is going to hit the damn.
3 rights make a left is what we figured out.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then that it started falling off. So I was carrying it full, just one-armed out, and then
using muscles.
Yeah, which sucked. So I stopped. And then I tried to put it on my lap.
How do you get started? Because you don't. I mean, if you're holding that thing, you don't have any use of the clutch.
Just hit.
You just start it in gear.
Just hit the starter.
Right, which people are scared to do, but you can do. That's good technique.
So, and then the crash came from putting it on the lap, and then the barrel thought it was time to go, so it started hitting the starter. So I wasn't ready.
Oh, so the bike rode without you?
Yes.
Okay. Well, yeah. George, your help made this bike rank way lower than it should, but that's what happens here. Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. Are we getting any more questions?
Oh, in the chat?
Yeah. Anything new? Brondo.
Yeah,
it has electrolytes.
It's got what you crave.
Yeah. It's got plants crave electrolytes. Don't worry, people. You'll know what we're talking about someday. Actually, you
Yeah.
should watch Idiocracy. I kid you not. And then when you see what's going on around you, you realize that someone actually made a movie about it. Kind of like all the futuristic stuff that they made movies back in the 1960s and 1970s, and even earlier than that. And all this stuff came true. And this is where we're heading. And that's why Bob is going to brew gasoline inside of his garage before we know it.
Yeah. So Patrick Bowman with his 1996 KDX 200, a free rear tire, Amazon handguards, and rusty gnarly pipe.
Dude, this guy's sending it.
Yeah.
He's sending it. He's jumping this thing. You can tell he came off a little crooked. He's a little crooked. He's back. He's doing the squat, and Travis just ate shit. I'm stoked on this. So I'm a KDX 200 guy. I love the KDX 200s. Those things are good. He's riding the purple dinosaur year. They made them with purple gas tanks and shrouds, and that gives it some bonus points. It's kind of a rarity, kind of like a Husaberg. It doesn't make a ton of power, but it definitely can put it to the ground. I'm liking his style. He's doing everything he can, hucking it. Probably a fan of the show. It's going up there a little bit. Like, don't be afraid to send us a KDX 200 at any time.
Yeah.
I'd say above the KX 500.
Yeah, right above the KX 500, because that guy was compensating for something when he got a 500, and this guy's sending it on the 200, and he's pretty happy. That's the KX 500 right there.
Oh.
If you don't know what that thing looks like, so right on the side there. So, yeah, what's his name? Patrick. Kind of reminds me of a young Gabe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of. Before Gabe didn't like motorcycles, but it happens. They get expensive, and you get girlfriends and stuff, and who knows how it works out. So there's the Rooster Endo board. Logan, why don't you go ahead and hang that thing back up there, because that is a good thing. If you want to send us a Rooster Endo thing, just post it on one of our Facebook posts, or post it to Dirtbike Test, and we'll try to keep you in line. But thanks to everybody for sending those things in. It's pretty good. Didn't go the way you thought it would. You thought that KDX was going to get railed, didn't you?
I thought it was going to be more middle of the road, but I've ridden a KDX 200 once, and I actually liked it.
I tell you what, like that guy, he doesn't care about modifying it. He cares about riding it.
Yeah,
It's like a free rear tire. Like, I know that guy. I was that guy. And that's if you're having to go to that level to ride, that's a good thing. It'll make him stronger in the long run. So what did you learn this week, Logan? Or today? Let's just say today. What did you learn today?
Today, so the government, as in school district, is not updating their ways of how to get faster at changing schedules
Okay.
for school.
So what happened?
So I have quite a few missing classes.
Oh, so you missed classes,
Yeah.
and you're blaming the government.
Well, school district, government, kind of.
Can you fix these problems?
Yeah, by wasting 2 hours in an auditorium.
Oh, with a lot of other kids?
Yeah.
Oh.
This is a legitimate problem with that high school.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, because you guys talked about
Yeah.
Yeah.
typical prump stuff. So, well, that's okay, because I have a similar problem. I'm always trying to figure out how to make things better and do things, and so it was brought to my attention that there's like a 9-year-old kid on YouTube that makes $30 million a year, and all he does is open up boxes. He opens up boxes of toys, and so in the name of research and ruining my personal YouTube feed, I had to find out what this kid was, and I watched him. I don't know what happened, but I thought to myself, because I'm trying to learn. This is what I do, Logan. I'm always, every day I want to learn something. I want to be smarter and make things happen. So I said, well, if this kid can do it, then I can do it. Like we can open up boxes of stuff because we're talking about motorcycles, and I don't know who he's talking to, but he has a little like a shtick, you know. He's got a funny family and a brother. So I didn't watch enough to really get into it. So here's how we're gonna do this. So, good friend of mine, named Ricky Brabeck and his girlfriend Sarah Price. Here, put that on. That is the Tech Talk Taco Tuesday hat. This is, and if we were ever talking about a nugget, like John Sermon, Bob's kid, this would be a nugget because we'll try to explain this.
Yeah.
So Logan is now wearing the Tech Talk Taco Tuesday hat. So we've got like a thing going, and hey, we've got a box. Oh look, a box showed up. A box. So Logan, what's in the box? And if you're listening to this, I just put a big box onto the thing, and it says CD on it because this is the box. This is the latest box that showed up. So get super excited and open it up, kind of like the kid. Did you watch you probably watch them, right?
No, I do not.
Dude, at 1.7 billion views, you had to have watched. I contributed to that thing, but you didn't. So you don't know how to open a box on a show.
No,
No?
I do not.
Okay, open the box. Just pretend like you know what you're doing.
Okay.
Like fake it like we always do. Yay! Look, what do we got, Logan?
Hopefully size 10.5 CD boots.
They're for me, so they're 11.
Oh, 11 size boots.
Well, you can pull them out of the box. Pull them out of the box now. That's what you do next. You're the main character on the screen. They're Jimmy's new CD boots, Logan. Look, they have instruction manuals. Here, read something out of this. Like, actually, have you ever read the instruction manuals for a boot?
Where's the English part?
Well, it's on one of the pages. Come on. There's got to be some, they come with lots of stuff.
Come on. Macro, whatever the heck that is.
Well, they come with stickers, too. Everybody likes stickers. Hold on, let me find the stickers. I got them here. Yep. Figure out, what are they made? What are the boots made of? It's got to say in there someplace.
Teflon material. Okay. First page, leather.
Are we to 10 million views yet?
Full grain tee.
No, viewership's actually gone down.
Really? Since we started opening shit up?
Nah.
I thought this is how you make this.
It's actually stayed the same, but since we started that.
Oh, we're going to see a big boost once we do what. Well, it was probably a surprise. People didn't expect us to go this route.
Right. Well, no. They probably were watching us, then thought, I want to go watch this kid instead, and then.
Oh, they clicked off to go watch the 9-year-old?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh man. Well, we're doing our best here. You give us the tech specs, Logan. Come on, keep doing the job.
So it's full grain tee, macro, micro.
So what it is I read this because I actually read that stuff. It's leather, but it's leather that doesn't age. See what he did? He just handed me the instructions, technical information manual, and picked up the stickers. Typical kid.
I saw this one. It was kind of cool.
Yeah. So
there's
Catching
another
eyes.
box in here I would like to open, but it's all the way over there.
Oh no, that box is no, you can't open that.
Okay.
Yeah, one Alaskan IPA and but anyways, thank you Moto Nation and CD Boots for keeping my feet safe again and again and again. Yeah, these are the boots that fit my feet the best, and I have special needs, so everybody knows how that works. So that should be worth 10 million views and probably 1.7 thousand cents or something on the YouTubes. So there was one other thing. You can take the hat off. We're done with that goofy segment. But remember, it could be coming at any time. Thanks, Ricky, for the hat. He said I should wear it, but see how I did that?
Yeah.
Got out of that one. Sean Elliott asks, is Electron Carb a good investment for my CR450X? On a stock carb, how do you check if the fuel mixture screw is set correctly? Use the hot start level. So, see how we can just drop right back into the good stuff?
Yeah.
So, I do not have any experiences in the modern times with Electron Carb on a 4-stroke. So, I can't answer if it's good or bad. I know that there's a lot of guys that really like them on 2-strokes. I personally don't like them because I feel like I lose a certain amount of throttle response. But other people say they make the bikes ridiculously smooth, just like fuel injection. But I would prefer fuel injection over any carburetor every day of the week. But back to the CR450X. On the stock carb, you check the fuel mixture screw. Essentially, it's kind of like it's kind of like right before your pilot jet and part of your pilot jet. So your pilot jet is sort of it's idling, and then the fuel mixture screw for me kind of comes into play just when you start cracking the throttle. So maybe I explained that a little bit wrong. I got to sneeze. COVID. So it's from pilot jet up to just when what I would call the needle starts taking over. So how do you adjust it? Typically, for me, it's if it needs to be around from 1.5 to 2.5 turns out, the fuel screw does. If you have to go less than that, I'm just making sure I get this straight. If you have to go less fuel screw, you need a leaner pilot jet. And if you have to go more fuel screw, you need a richer pilot jet. So the fuel screw kind of tells you whether your pilot jet is right. And then you're at that point just sort of fine tuning the pilot jet. And hopefully your needle is right. Because if the needle's wrong, then all that when it transitions onto the needle, which is about like 1/3 throttle on up, everything's kind of out there. So the way I adjust the fuel screw is, and it also comes in conjunction with the pump squirt, which is a whole nother thing that's not adjustable on the stock carburetor. You can buy adjustable pump squirt diaphragms and things like this. So there's a lot. That's the problem with these stupid 4-stroke carburetors. And good God, if you have to take that carburetor off that bike. I made you do that before, haven't I? Try to get a carburetor off a Honda 450X? You had that task here yet?
I think you told me to do it.
I got another one for you. So anytime there's some work out there, it's because I started. There's the one that I started up the other day, and it needs a mid body. It needs mid body gaskets. A whole nother nightmare. So what you should do is just take that entire bike and throw it in the trash can and buy a fuel injected one. But no, I don't use the hot start lever at all in tuning a 4-stroke carburetor. The hot start, I use it. When do I ever use the hot start? I'll probably use it for something or other, but I can't remember right now. So, okay. Next question. You want to read that one, Logan? You got that, or you know which one it is?
No, I can't.
You can't read it? Okay. Todd Kelly says, I'm doing a dual sport in Colorado coming up in a couple weeks. I've usually always run tubeless, but I've had a few recent failures and don't want to carry extra gear if I don't have to. I'm going to go with mooses on this ride, but I am concerned about the pavement sections and premature failure from heat. What's too much tarmac or too fast? Todd, you're never going to go too fast or run into problems in Colorado with mooses ever, unless you do something that's completely ridiculous. If you're on a regular dual sport ride and you're minding your P's and Q's, not breaking the speed limit, you'll never have any problem. I mean, I run them all the time, and we do 10 and 15 mile an hour stints on 100-degree pavement at 70 miles an hour. And I don't have any issues on my mooses, especially if they're fresh ones. And it sounds like since you're switching over to those being fresh ones, with your tubeless system, sometimes those things wear, and sometimes when they've been on for a while, they develop leaks and stuff. Sometimes putting more Armor All is what they use. Break the bead on the tire and throw Armor All and stuff. But I'm with you on, especially when you're doing the dual sport stuff. I've had them slowly leak air on high-speed sections. I don't know exactly why. A lot of times because I was running a lot lower pressure, and then that torque on the tire, probably flexed the bead and let a little air burp out of it at different times. So I would go with mooses every time for more reliability. Are we running out of questions?
Oh, no, definitely not. I just didn't want to keep jumping around. Sean and Elliot had another one.
How is a Recluse different with a cable clutch? Should I put a hydraulic clutch on a CR450X? So the reason it's different is because the with the hydraulic clutch, so the Recluse is always doing the work for you, and the hydraulic clutch self-compensates. Like, so in other words, if it's kind of moving around, it finds its happy space. Where with a cable clutch, it can't, you have a cable, so it can't constantly be adjusting, so you kind of have to set it. So the cable always feels like it's stiff. Like the clutch lever is always pulled all the way out because the clutch is essentially when the bike's not running, it's expanded, in other words, so it's disengaged. So it's almost like even though your clutch lever is out, the Recluse has made it so it's out, and then when you pull on it, and so the position changes. Where if you pull on a hydraulic clutch, it'll actually self-compensate and adjust. So that's how it's different. And no, if you have a Recluse, since if your Recluse is working properly, you never use the clutch lever, there's really no need for a hydraulic clutch. That makes sense, Logan?
A little bit.
A little bit? Yeah, because I don't know if you've ridden a Recluse on a cable bike. Some of the Hondas that we have them.
Yeah.
So you have experience with it. So it's weird the way the lever feels.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not like, but you never use it.
No.
So, yeah. That should be...
It was weird enough for me to actually just stop using it.
Jordan Siegel says, any recommendations for rubber-mounted bar mounts? The new Husky 501 clamps and bars are very rigid. So I've used the BRP mount that's usually in conjunction with the Scott's sub-mount damper mount, and those do some stuff. I know there's what are the factory KTMs are on? What's that system called? Do you know what that is?
I knew that
it's
rubber mounted Neckens.
Yeah, like is it Neckin that makes this system that?
Well, I don't know. They use Neckin bars.
No, there's a system that the KTM factory bikes run that does some sort of rubber mounting. It's actually in the clamp. There's a company called Mako that does something that's also in the clamp. It basically binds the bar and then has an elastomer between the bar and the actual clamp. That's a system. They all sort of do something a little bit different, and they have advantages and disadvantages. And so it kind of depends on what you're trying to get rid of. I run flex bars on most of my bikes because they seem to do the most, and they're very easily adjustable, where some of the elastomer based clamps tend to, some of them actually reduce vibration. I know the BRP does, and it depends on which elastomer you run on it, like which vibration range. Like I think, and I have to go out and look at my bikes, I think I run a certain color on my 500 and a certain color on my 350, and then I wanted something different for the two-stroke. When I put it on a two-stroke, I wanted a different, because it was like, where this bike kind of vibrates, it doesn't go. And then there's a lot of different handlebar bends and not bends, but stiffnesses that can kind of help you out with that kind of a feel. And I think a lot of it's just kind of trial and error with what you're trying to find. So what you got to identify, like, am I trying to get rid of vibration? Then some of those, those isolators, those rubber isolators help. If you're trying for a softer, more compliant ride, then look more at the clamp. The either the flex bars or the Mako system that kind of lets the bars move around. So Solar SS says a 10 gas TXT 300 Pro AJP brakes, having trouble with the rear caliper getting air in, bleeding air out, only helps temporarily. Any tips on rebuild kits, or maybe trying to find a brake replacement? It's probably just the seals, someplace. I don't know how readily available the AJP stuff is. And I don't know if Yeah, I have an older gas. It's kind of funny because on my older KTMs, we start to have this problem. I think the seals harden up a little bit, and they just tend to get air into them because it's not coming in through the lines and stuff like that. Just the seals tend to, when they sit or get tight. But I don't know. You're probably going to have to either find a caliper or find out if that system is compatible with something else. And that's the thing when you're buying kind of these brands like a gas or a TM or something, is when you run into problems with those, aftermarket parts, that's a little bit of an issue. So we have any other good? Are we good? Nuggets.
See that? I thought there was one more, but maybe I'm crazy.
Could be. We're looking at all of the things on the chat rooms.
Here's one. I didn't think it was that good of a question.
I need Jimmy Lewis to settle an argument. When do you think a B-level amateur rider has to have the newest bike because a 2018 if falling behind in performance and it's holding him back? It's a B-level rider is complaining a 2018 bike is holding him back. What year is my YZ125? 2005.
Yeah.
It's almost as old as you.
It's 1 month older than me, probably.
Right. And I was in front of Eli Tomac. So I'm going to say no. Just based on facts. Everything I said was a fact, right?
Yeah.
The bike's old and it wasn't holding me back because I was in front of Eli Tomac. No, this is the cool thing about dirt bikes and motorcycles and in general is with our sport, the ability on the bike, especially when you're a B rider. So let's just say your bike, a 2018 bike, you think it's holding you back. If you put a C rider on that bike, would he all of a sudden become a B rider? And then as a B rider, that bike's level is not going to be that much better to take you to the next level. It's all riding skill, dude. It's all riding skill because you can go look at Carson Brown videos on Instagram. Carson Brown 910. Watch him ride junk bikes around and just kill it. He hauls ass on anything he gets on. He can't help himself. Watch this and then go, when he gets on that KE 100 and rips around on it, or he gets on a 1982 XR 200 and doing triples and quads and stuff like that, it's not the bike that's slowing him down. And if you got in your 2018, he would still spoke you on that 1982 XR. So no, at that level, I don't think a bike that's 3 or 4 years old. The bikes have been really good. All of them have been really good since I'm going to say 2010. I mean, just roughly 2010. Everything has been really, really good since then. Like in little things like okay, we got rid of carburetors. That made them that much better. And we we haven't had these evolutions in suspension and chassis and handling that are leaps and bounds that's gonna hold you back a quote a skill level or make you a better or worse rider. So it's not the bike. It's not about the bike. Is the new XR600 air cooled? There's no new XR600. If they still sell a new XR600 air cooled, I don't think they do. But I don't know. I don't think the XR600 is still in the lineup. Maybe someplace else. And
also, I found one. It's Brandon Stinger Davis. Is it a bad idea to coast downhill for an extended period of time in neutral?
No, I think that's myth. I think that's a myth. Because I think what he's worried about is having, because at that point your motor's not running, so none of the motor stuff is running. The clutch is sitting still. Everything in that side thing is still, and it means your oil pump is sitting still. But and it could depend a little bit on the bike, but the oil, and it might be a two-stroke, so at that point it doesn't make any difference because there's no oil pumps in the two-strokes. The transmission is generally bathed in an oil bath, and having And even when you're in neutral, there are some gears that are spinning. A lot of stuff is still spinning inside the transmission when you're in neutral. And it's going to be throwing plenty of oil around to lubricate everything there. And I think it would take a really, 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 really long hill before anything could go wrong. So, yeah, chalk that one up to myths. San Felipe Bob says, entering my dad into the rate my ride. I don't know. So, Jimmy Lewis, didn't you buy a carb to try on some of your older bikes? George Justice asks us. Yes, I have it, and I haven't put it on because, amazingly, just the threat of that, it's a knockoff Key and FCR carb with good parts put into it. Just the threat of that carb being around, all of my other bikes started working fine. All of my KTMs, and it's jetted for a KTM 400 or 525. They're all sitting there like now behaving like they should. So I have it ready to go, but haven't used it. Okay, I think we're pretty good.
Yeah, I think. Was there any money?
Congratulations from Restream. We've received 100 messages today. It must have been that box opening, Logan.
Probably.
Yeah. So we're going to have to do that every time. So you just get used to wearing that goofy hat.
New segment, what's in the box?
I'm going to send pictures out to your girlfriend, and that's the way it's going to go. So, Matt, thank you for helping us. Everybody, thank you for joining in. Is Casa Azul that much better than Reserva of the family? Yes, Class A Azul is better than Reserva of the family, in my personal opinion. Glad I could give you some tequila advice. The Milagro was medium as expected, but a nice big blue bottle.
Oh, we should do another Rooster Endo for tequila.
A Rooster Ender for tequila?
Yeah.
We'll just use bottles and just have them stacked up at the top or something. Right, there's no room. So, okay, like I said, join in. If you're watching this or listening to this someplace else and you want to email us a question, do so. Best place to do the questions if you're watching it later is on the YouTube video that we post up. If you check our Facebook, Dirt Bike Test Facebook page, we always looking at that right before the show kind of goes live. And other than that, just try to get a hold of Logan at the local high school. He's organizing a union now. Is that what you're doing?
No, I'm doing nothing in an auditorium.
Doing nothing in an auditorium. Try to learn something when you're there, man. Just make the best of it. So, okay, with that, we will say cheers. We'll see you out on the trail.
What's up, Moto Buddies? Mike here from Taco Moto Co. Who are we? We make and sell the ultimate products to perfect out your Austrian dual sport motorcycle, a KTM EXC, EXCF, XCFW, Husqvarna FE, and FES. And soon we'll be developing some products and components for the Honda CRF 450L, RL, and X bikes. We build out bikes for our clients and friends, from Sunday Trail specials all the way up to fully equipped global slayers like what RTW Paul is riding on as he travels around the world on an EXC 500. In late 21, we'll be rolling out a full service suspension shop as well as a motor program, full rebuilds, blueprinting, balancing, getting rid of the motor buzz and the big bore KTM thumpers, top end, valve grindings, the works. We want to extend, ultimately, what we're after is to extend your ride day and your endurance and your stamina and be able to keep you on the bike for more riding years. We've got a bunch of 70-year-old riders out there who, with our help, hopefully will be riding well into their 90s. Taco Moto Co. Find us out on all the socials. Go out and get some adventure.